Shah is pleading guilty in her controversial telemarketing scheme scandal. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City star appeared in a New York court on Monday for a change of plea hearing, in which she switched her original plea of not guilty to guilty, taking responsibility for the fraud and money laundering charges. According to a Twitter thread from Inner City Press senior reporter Matthew Russell Lee, the 48-year-old told the judge that she had committed wire fraud offering services with little to no value. She continued, quote, "We used interstate telephones and emails. I knew many of the purchasers were over the age of 55. I am so sorry." The judge then asked if Shah knew that what she was doing was wrong and illegal, to which Shah replied, "Yes, Your Honor." By entering a guilty plea, Shah will no longer face a trial. She had been charged with one count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing after she was arrested in March of 2021 alongside her assistant, Stuart Smith. Smith had also initially pled not guilty. However, in November of 2021, he changed his plea to guilty, while Shah maintained her innocence until Monday's hearing. Her legal team even attempted to get the charges dismissed in August of 2021, but a judge denied that request. Shah's ties to the scandal became a major storyline on the Bravo franchise and inspired the Hulu documentary The Housewife and the Shah Shocker. She faces a maximum penalty of up to 30 years in prison.
All right, guys, welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. If you have not subscribed yet, please do go ahead and hit that subscribe button. So obviously what you just heard was about Shah. This comes from People magazine, and Shah of the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, who I've had a few reality chats about on my platform. She just recently has pled guilty to fraud in a telemarketing scandal that she was arrested for back in March of 2021. And she previously pled not guilty, but there have been several people, assistants to her, that have just bit the bullet and pled guilty. And she was filmed on the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's most recent season that she was speaking to her attorney and her family and just saying that these charges are not true and it's not, me. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm just being targeted for I don't know what. And now, after, unfortunately, her mother has, on the show, because it was filmed, given up her life savings to help her out. She's pled guilty and now she's forfeiting all of that money, and it's really, really sad for her family, her mother. I feel for her mother, her children, and I definitely feel for those who were victims, but I don't even know if the people are going to get anything, because this is a criminal trial. This isn't a civil trial where it's like with Erica Girardi, they're coming after her for money. With Erica Girardi's situation, even though it is terrible, it's mainly money. With this situation, it is primarily, not even primarily, it is criminal charges. And she is facing 14 years, if not more years, in prison. And that's not going to put any money back in these people's pockets, because I never really understand the restitution thing when it comes to that, because it seems like it. I could be wrong. You guys could let me know in the comment section if I am incorrect, because I really don't know how it works. But when it comes to the restitution, it seems like that money goes to the government. It doesn't go to the people. Am I wrong? Let me know. But anyway, the story is she's pleading guilty in her controversial telemarketing scheme scandal. She appeared in a New York court on Monday to take part in a change of plea hearing. She switched her original plea of not guilty to guilty, taking responsibility for the fraud and money laundering charges. Ms. Shah is a good woman who crossed a line, Priya Chaudhry, an attorney for the 48-year-old reality star, told People. She accepts full responsibility for her actions and deeply apologizes to all who have been harmed. Ms. Shah is also sorry for disappointing her husband, children, family, friends, and supporters. And Jen pled guilty because she wants to pay her debt to society and put this ordeal behind her and her family. So entering the guilty plea means she will not stand trial. She was charged with 1 count of conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing. She faces a maximum penalty of up to 30 years in prison. And she's set to be sentenced on November 28th. So it looks like they're going to give her until Thanksgiving to be with her family. And I'm not sure with the sentencing if that would be something she would have to serve immediately or what. She was arrested in March 2021 alongside her assistant Stuart Smith for allegedly targeting individuals in a nationwide scheme. At the time, both Shah and Smith, 43, were charged with conspiracy to commit wire fraud in connection with telemarketing and conspiracy to commit money laundering. It's crazy. Jennifer Shah, who portrays herself as a wealthy and successful business person on reality television, and they put reality in quotes, it's kind of funny, and Stuart Smith, who is portrayed as Shah's first assistant, because if you've watched the show, you know she had 15, 20 assistants, which was just crazy, allegedly generated and sold lead lists of innocent individuals for other members of their scheme to repeatedly scam. Manhattan U.S. Attorney Audrey Strauss previously said in a press release, in actual reality and as alleged, the so-called business opportunities pushed on the victims by Shah, Smith, and their co-conspirators were just fraudulent schemes motivated by greed to steal victims' money. Now, these defendants face time in prison for their alleged crimes. Shah and Smith, 43, initially pleaded not guilty in April, but her assistant changed his plea to guilty that November. Smith has not yet been sentenced. Shah, on the other hand, had maintained her innocence until Monday's court hearing. Her legal team even attempted to get the charges dismissed in August 2021, but the judge denied the request. I think what people don't understand is here in America, you're innocent until proven guilty. I'm innocent, she said in September 21 on Bravo's Spilling Iced Tea Instagram Live. And I believe that this is not just my test. This is everybody's test close to me and in my corner. How are my closest people around me going to respond? How are they going to show up or not show up? She added. Shah's ties to the scandal became a major storyline on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City's second season, and it also became the subject of a Hulu documentary, which I haven't watched yet, titled The Housewife and the Shah Shocker. Shah is one of the original cast members of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, and she is married, and they have 2 sons, and I believe what has been reported is that she will definitely be continuing to film for The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City even after the plea. And of course, Bravo wants to get that footage because this is a big thing. The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, they don't have much going on. And I even hate to say stuff like that when it comes to these Real Housewives shows because it's all about the storyline. It's all about the storyline. So your life is really just pretty much subjected to a storyline, which is for most people, your life may not be that entertaining. Most people's lives are not that entertaining. And it really sucks the fact that you are involved in a crime you have pleaded guilty to, and this criminal situation that is going to affect your entire life, your family, your livelihood has been relegated to entertainment. But I mean, I guess she's got to do what she's got to do because she's got these fees that she's going to have to pay. Here's the thing I want to discuss because obviously she's got to pay the piper. And I don't know what type of money her husband makes, Coach Shah. But I don't think that it afforded them the type of lifestyle that they were living. So it makes me wonder, what the heck did her husband know? And why would he allow this? Was he a part of it? I guess he wasn't because he wasn't charged. It was just her and her assistants. So I guess it was not a family business sort of thing. But even if it wasn't a family business, how did he think that they were living that type of life when I'm not saying he doesn't make any money, he must make something, but it wasn't like he was the coach of an NBA team or an NFL team that's been winning the Super Bowl or the playoffs. Like, seriously, he's a college coach, and I know that they can make, decent money too, but as part of the plea agreement, she will have to pay $6.5 million in forfeiture and up to $9.5 million in restitution. That's not a lot of money. I mean, that is a lot of money. That's not a little bit of money. That's not something to sneeze at. That is a lot of money. And I am not sure what she's really getting paid on The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. I don't even know how many more seasons they got out of this show for it to keep going. I guess they're going to try to keep it going. But that promo, her tagline for The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, when she said the only thing I'm guilty of is being Shah amazing, is a lie. And I'm sure that the attorneys, the representation that she had, they probably said, look, based on the evidence against you, the best thing we can highly recommend for you for the sake of lessening any sentencing you may get is to just go ahead and plead guilty. Because if you go through this trial and you're found guilty, you're probably going to get the maximum. Now, we know that Teresa and her now ex-husband, Joe Giudice, they were facing like 50 years in prison, and they didn't get anything close to that. I believe he got the most and she got the least. I think she had to serve like a year, maybe 14 months or something like that in prison, and then have probation and house arrest or something like that. And then her husband, or now ex-husband, Joe, I don't remember how many years he got, but he got maybe about 3 years or something like that. And then he foolishly never got his citizenship all of the years that he was here. So because of that, he was deported to Italy. So he could no longer live in the United States after serving his time. So they didn't get anything close to what they were going to get. So Jen, she is facing, I believe, less time than what they were facing. So do you believe that she's going to have to serve anything near 14 years? I really don't believe she will. I know a lot of people don't like her. She's not one of my favorite people. I don't hate the chick. I don't know her. I don't know any of these people, so I can't say I hate any of them. But I don't believe that she will be serving anything close to 14 years. She may get like a lot of probation time, a lot more probation time than time of serving, because I don't think she actually served any time in prison. So I believe she was arrested and, and released on her own recognizance, or maybe she had to pay a fine or something, a bond. I believe she may have had a bond of some sort, because I believe that's also what came into play when it came to her mother putting up and pretty much relinquishing her retirement for the sake of her daughter, when all the time she had been doing this stuff. I still don't understand it. I don't get it. Prosecutors, said since 2012, she and others sold quote unquote business services to the alleged victims, including website design services to some elderly individuals who didn't own computers. I don't know. I really don't get all of that, because it's like, why did these people sign up for these services? And I know that they're older, but I don't know. I feel that there's a whole lot of dirty, crooked people out here that are doing pretty much the same things that they have been charged with. And I'm not saying that what they did was okay. I really am not. But we see the Facebook ads and the YouTube ads and all of these different things that go on where these people are selling these services that I don't believe are worth anything that they're selling them for. And it makes me wonder sometimes, are these people doing things that are illegal too, or are they just unethical? Because there is illegal and there is unethical. Those are, two totally different things, but illegal is unethical as well. But just being unethical, it's not a crime. It should be for a lot of things that some people have done, but then you have to deal with it on a civil side. And it's not looking like anyone has sued them civilly. It's just been a criminal thing, which she probably wishes it was civil and it wasn't criminal, because it wouldn't be affecting her potential losing her freedom for some time. But I really would love to know what you guys think about this, because with her pleading guilty and all of these fines that she will have to, be responsible for, 6.5 million and then another 9.5 million. And if she's sentenced to anything less, 14 years or less, then she promises not to appeal. Like, it's crazy. So it looks like they may be trying to put some time on her, but I don't know if it's going to be anything like they're saying. I believe we'll see when it happens, of course. But I don't wish the lady to lose her freedom for a long period of time, for the sake of her family, and especially if they didn't know what was going on. But I'm just wondering, how could at least her husband, not know? What did he think she was doing for a living? I don't get it. I understand being in business and being an entrepreneur and married to someone, and they may not understand your business or really even understand or know how much money you may be bringing in on a regular basis, but they should know if it's legal. And I just don't get that. I don't know what he thought she was doing all of these years to bring in the amount of money that she was bringing in and whatnot. But she was surely showcasing an extremely extravagant life on the show out of everyone else, even though we've seen the others, especially Mary, the church / cult leader, and how she lives. But we know that she married her step grandfather and inherited her grandmother's wealth, and so that's how a lot of that money that she has, she's living and inherited the church, and bilking the people out of the little bit of money that they got from them in tithes and offerings every Sunday and every other day that they have their church doors open. We get that. But the life that this woman was living, I just was like, I don't get it. And then so when she was arrested, it wasn't a big surprise to me. Again, I still don't understand a lot of it and what all of it really means, but I don't believe that they're going to hit her for a really lengthy period of time. I just don't think that they will. I'm not saying she doesn't deserve it, and I'm not saying that those who weren't built out of it wouldn't want to see her spend a whole lot of time behind bars either. But to be honest with you, they probably just prefer to have their money back more than having to see her get put away. Because, again, that doesn't put any money in their pockets. But maybe the restitution is, in some way, these people getting some sort of money back. So she needs the show. So the fact that they're going to still film her for it, I'm not surprised by it. It will bring in more viewers, and it'll probably solidify her to be on the show as long as they can possibly keep this franchise on the air. But you guys, let me know your thoughts about this in the comments section. Shah has pled guilty, and she stands to serve up to 14 years or maybe more in prison. Do you believe she will really have to serve a whole lot of time? And out of this 9.5 million in restitution, is that going to the victims, or is that going to the government? And does that represent how much money she bilked all of these people out of for all of these years? You let me know your thoughts about it. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And as always, I'm just being beautifully honest.